So the story's been told. Got a lifetime of surprises. Every day the sun rises. All I know is can't turn back, can't turn back now. Can't turn back, can't turn back now. Can't go back, can't go back. Can't turn back, can't turn back now. I lived on a tightrope, never wanted to leave center. Always trying to figure out love. I'm not the inventor. Got a lifetime of surprises. What I realize is every day the sun rises. Can't turn back, can't turn back now. Can't turn back, can't turn back now. Can't go back, can't go back. Can't turn back, can't turn back now.
And I'm wondering what advice you would have.
Hold on.
For Finland would have for Canada, living next to a very dominant country.
I think the US-Canadian relationship has always been rock solid. I mean, a little bit like Finland and Sweden. You know, we're good friends, we're allies, we're
Elbows
you know,
up.
we have a similar
Elbows
value
up.
base,
Let's see what elbows
but
up
a
means.
separate identity. You actually have the linguistic link, albeit the Quebecois would be of a different opinion there. But just continue to work with the Americans as allies and as friends. And you know, I've always said that you should never get flustered. You know, stay cool, calm, and collected. If sometimes you know, language seems a bit on the rough side, take an ice bath in a sauna. That helps.
Right. In Canada, we say elbows up now. Is there a Finnish equivalent?
Say what?
Elbows up, right?
Elbows
they do
up.
it like Gordie Howe.
Yeah,
They say
elbows up is fine, but I still think that they fight too much in the rink in the NHL. So, but keep the elbows up, but smile at the same time.
Maybe head for the
Elbows
sauna.
up.
Head.
That's a Canadian term. Elbows up. So, so this is turning out. This is turning out good for a lot of people.
Set up a try like this. And where do you? Yeah, thank you.
So Trump
I'm a
is
data scientist. That's
Trump is saying like Putin's ready to make a deal. He made the phone calls yesterday. So Trump literally made the phone calls. What's going on with you? Ben is my name. What's going on with you? Love is love. Namaste. I say salutations. Shalom. Appreciate you for stopping through. Not really. Not really. It's called a conversation. Just because you're having a conversation about somebody don't mean you up their ass or anything like that, right? Just because a lot of y'all are afraid to have these conversations, just because people don't want to have these conversations, don't mean people are not interested, right? Be bolden, okay? Be bolden. You're in the age of Aquarius. Stop being afraid of conversation, all right? You guys make it seem like nobody can talk about Trump. Like we all outcast him and put him on a, you know, do not mention list. You act like his name is Voldemort or something, right? Oh, I mean, the name that we do not mention. Like, cut it out. Democrats is so caught up with their feelings and emotions. This is why logically we can't get nothing done in this world. Because logically, all y'all see is feelings and emotions. I'm a Democrat to the heart. I'm a Democrat. Democrats ain't fixing this world. They worry about breaking the glass ceiling. They worried about making sure that, you know, same-sex marriage is acceptable in all countries. Let's be honest, all right? So cut it out with that. Stop making it seem like because somebody's having a conversation about something that they, oh, you're siding with this. No, 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 chill. What the hell? You talking about my face kissing his hand? It's too early for that shit. It is too early for that shit. So yeah, so they are setting up this meeting. This meeting will happen.
The opposite of it.
This trilateral meeting will happen. Trump made the phone call yesterday while they were in the Oval Office. So this trilateral meeting is happening. The only question is when. It's like Trump said. It's not an if now. It's a when he can put this together, right? So Trump got the trilateral meeting happening. It's not a rant with myself. I want you to think about this. How many people come into a live like this and automatically start attacking the person that talks about Trump, right? If I say something good about Trump, a bunch of people, gonna say something, right? So when you looking at this, I might have took your comment wrong, but I didn't take it wrong because there's so many people that's looking to say, oh, you kissing a hand, you grazing an ass, you doing this, you a Republican. So you can't say that because everybody will attack a black person that say that they agree with Trump wanting peace, right? So that's why I said that. I'm not afraid to stand corrected. If you didn't mean it, then I apologize. If you didn't mean it how I took it, I apologize. See, that's the one thing about being grown, right? I can stand corrected. I can apologize to you. Now, that's up to you if you want to accept the apology. If you want to sit there and be like, nah, you made yourself, that's up to you. You got the right to perceive this how you want to perceive this, right? But we all know that everybody that's been supporting Trump, especially if you black, right? You've been getting ridiculed, you've been getting tore down, you've been getting attacked, right? From the Kanye Wests to the, well, I don't think Spike Lee is actually, I think they done already accepted that Spike Lee is a Republican. However we look at this, I think that this whole situation is a good thing. I think, this, like they said, at least we're at the table, right? At least we're at the table. A lot of these European leaders, they couldn't even get Putin at a table for a conversation of peace. You know what I mean? Kanye West said Hitler was good. Okay, that's an opinion. Everybody got him, right? If you go back to the history of things, you'll see in this world that history changed repeatedly. A lot of times history changed, right? Winners is the ones who wrote the history of the war, right? And you go back and you look at the symbol of what they used, the symbol that they used was actually a symbol that derived from the Japanese that was actually a symbol of peace. They turned it around and made the swastika, a symbol of hate, right? 1488 is the 14 chakra systems and the 88 constellations. As above, so below, as without, so within. Hitler was studying a lot of stuff. Astronomers study today, the stars, the connection. He migrated, he took 2 million of his soldiers, I want to say, and he, disappeared into Antarctica, allegedly, supposedly, according to the, diary or books that they found in a bunker in Antarctica, allegedly, supposedly, right? So there's a lot of stuff about Hitler that's not true. Like there's a lot of it is true, but then there's some stuff that's not so true, right? So there's a lot of falsification in this. Even with Putin. I mean, if we look at it, all of our countries paint the country that they're in to be the heroes, right? I'm pretty sure, Russia's not putting out movies where they're the bad guys. I'm pretty sure in a lot of Russian movies, their people probably plays the hero and, America probably plays their bad guys, right? Same in China. I'm pretty sure that their movies show their people as the hero and probably another country people as the, villains, right? I bet you never went to history class. That don't even make sense. That don't even make sense. I would take that and say, okay, well, I challenge you to a history debate, and let's see who knowledge of history goes back far enough. Because you probably don't even know there's 88 constellations in the sky. You probably still think that there's only 12, constellations, and that's the zodiacs. You probably don't even know nothing about the sky, right? Let alone the history. You can't go back to the book of Genesis. You can't go back to Zechariah's stitches. You can't go back to the emerald tablets. You can't go back to, the tablets of thought. You haven't studied that stuff yet. Aramaic, all of that stuff. You haven't even combed through that history. So you can't sit here and tell me what history I know if you can't even go back to the trick of Constantine in 325, Constantine with the Nicaea. So I don't want to, you can't talk to me about history unless you're actually willing to have a conversation about history. All right? So, hey, TikTok, anybody want to come up in the box? Please feel free to come up. You will be being heard by YouTube because we're live on YouTube right now too. So if you come up in the box, just know that you're being heard on other platforms. So just to let you know, you will be heard on YouTube if you do come up in the box. But feel free, come up in the box. Tell me what you think. Let me know what you think. Let's let the room build up some. Please hit the like button. Tap the screen if you're on TikTok. Hit the three dots at the top of the screen if you're on YouTube. And hit that like button. Hit the thumbs up button. And if you're on a mobile device, I'm pretty sure you can double tap the screen. I'm not sure. But this will help get more people in the room. And if you would like, please share the live or copy the link. That too will help get more people in the room.
Who will
try to organize such meeting, and he said that he will come or not come. Ukraine will be happy if you will participate.
there, I will be there.
Yeah, thank you. And I think this is very important.
Well, he said Ukraine will be happy if you be there. He said Ukraine will be happy if you be there. So, they're putting this meeting in work.
As we spoke about,
Trump has did what he said he was going to do. Trump at least got both of them at the table for diplomacy, right? At least he got them at the table for diplomacy. Alice, I think you might need calm down with the all caps, right? Calm down with the all caps. We don't need you coming in here trying to yell at people. Do your job. You don't even know what job is. Go help people when you're bored. Seriously. What? I think you might need a virtual hug. It's too early for that. You definitely need a virtual hug. So look, all of them was at the table. Finland.
I really want to thank you.
Anybody who bordered Russia, they basically
broke the deadlock.
Want to
basically with President Putin by starting that dialogue, and I think it was in February.
Right there,
first.
Right there, he said we were all at deadlock with Putin. Right, we were all at deadlock with Putin. He wouldn't sit down at the table with none of us. But thanks to Trump, we're at least having the conversation, and that's the start of peace.
So
right,
I'm really
that's the
excited.
start of it.
And
so with Putin agreeing, that's the start of it.
We get this thing to an end as soon as possible. I really want to thank you for your leadership, what you are doing for Volodymyr, but of course also all the European colleagues. It is really crucial. And the fact that
Trump got played, how
are
so?
willing to participate in a security
how did Trump get played?
Is a big step. It's really a breakthrough, and
you think this was a trick?
So also thank you for that.
Do you guys think this was like a trick in order to get it? Because I want you to know, if we go into this trilateral deal right? The trilateral deal, the security that the president of Ukraine is talking about is what's going to happen if Putin don't, you know, if he don't keep his end of the deal, basically, right? So these are the security measures that they saying need to be put in place, right? But the thing about that is those security measures could put Americans on the front line if we enter into this trilateral deal. Then we're saying that we're using us as a security blanket for them if Putin messes up, right? If Putin does something, right? Then by Trump putting Americans in it, he's saying that we are going to make sure that Putin sticks to his part of the deal, right? That's what a trilateral meeting is, right? Well, that's not what it is, but basically that's what it is, right? And these are the security measures that the Ukrainian president is looking for, which could be dangerous for us. It actually could be a setup for us, right? Because if we enter this deal and then Putin don't go through with it, right? Now, through American forces, we have to enforce and cover Ukraine if the war continues after a... Now, hopefully... hopefully, you know, we won't have to, you know, see certain things unfold. Hopefully, right? Hopefully this peace goes down good. Hopefully we don't have to... I would like to see some type of form of peace down here, you know, in the physical world. We see division every day, but we don't see no, you know, high levels of unity. We don't see peace at high levels. So I think if this is approaching a peace approach, then I think we should look at it, right? At least they're at the table with peace, right? The concept of it, right? Now they might not agree on everything. I want to look into the you know, the 20,000 kids that they say were taken. Because he said, like, every kid needs to be...
yesterday in this important meeting.
Every kid should be placed back in the home that they...
A new phase after 3 years and a half that we didn't see any kind of sign.
What is going on?
The Russian side that they're...
What is going on in Russia that Putin had to take 20 kids from the UK, 20,000 kids from the UK?
It's achieved with the bravery of Ukrainians and with the unity that we all provided to Ukraine. And the reason why I mention it is that we also have to remind
Stars and Stripes.
that if we want to reach peace...
Hey, that's what I'm saying, Stars and Stripes. I think this might be a way to get, you know, us involved in this. Hopefully these kids get released. You're talking about 20,000 kids ripped out of their homes, given, you know, Russian names and stuff like that. Like,
we
need those kids back, Putin. We need those kids back.
The first one is security guarantees, how to be sure that it won't happen again, which is the precondition of every kind of peace. I'm happy that we will discuss about that. I'm happy that we will...
That's what everybody around...
Which is the, let's say, Article 5, which was Italian at the beginning. So we are always ready to bring our proposals for peace, for dialogue.
Now, that Article 5 thing is very tricky, right? Because the Article 5, if you sign this agreement under the Article 5, then it's going to say that, whatever means we deem necessary to punish, that is what we are going to use. You're punishable by whatever means deemed necessary, right? Now, that could be a sanction, that could be a slap on the wrist, or it could be World War III. I don't know, right? But under Article 5, it says that if this agreement is broken, then whatever means deemed punishable by the parties involved, that is the Article 5 that she speaks of. So she's saying, like, hopefully we can get an agreement under, Article 5 and the security behind it, right? Because the Ukraine president is already saying that Putin done broke 25 ceasefires already.
And in order to have such a long-standing peace for Ukraine and for the whole continent, we do need these security guarantees. And the first one is clearly a credible Ukrainian army for the years and decades to come.
See?
And the second one is our own commitment, all of us. And we worked very hard during the past few months among the coalition of the willing.
That security that they're talking about could possibly put Americas in this, battle. Because if they're asking for certain variations of security, then they got to have the strength, they got to have the manpower to cover if something backfires, so on and so forth, right? So they're asking for, that security. And they're asking America to provide that.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you for hosting us here.
Now, it could be with,
which is we all want
I think we're
peace.
giving them air support now.
The war in Ukraine has had a huge impact, particularly on the Ukrainians who bore the brunt of it, but it's also had an impact on Europe and on the United Kingdom. There's not a family
How so, Andrew?
that hasn't been affected. And when we talk about security,
do you think this is a
about
setup?
Security not just of Ukraine, we're talking about the security of Europe and the United Kingdom as well, which is why this is such an important issue. I think this is such an important meeting. As a group, I think we've had a discussion on the phone a number of times, Mr. President, but be able now to be around the table to take it forward. And I'm really hoping that we can, I think, with the right approach this afternoon, make real progress.
I think I'm going to have to agree because something is off about this, right? How fast Putin is agreeing with the trilateral meeting without hearing the details, discussing what it is that's on the table, what both parties are going to get out of it. Obviously, Putin is looking for, territory, terrain, so on and so forth. And it's all starting to look like the world being one big stage, but it's also all starting to look premeditated. Like this is a premeditated push towards battle. Like, think about it. This is a setup. This is a setup to get us involved. Like,
security guarantees and some sort of progress on trilateral meeting of some sort.
We need to get a piece of paper to say, to get some type of peace before we start going around and trying to make peace. How are we making peace with Russia and Ukraine, and we ain't even got peace with Russia, right? So this could be a setup to get us involved.
Thank you very much. And, it's very interesting because this is the first for the White House. You can't say that very often. It's seen a lot over the years, since 1800, 1799, to be almost exact. But this is the first where we've had so many prime ministers, presidents, the heads of European nations. And by the way, Alex, I'd like you to say a couple of words too. You're a young.
He literally put them on display for everybody to talk nice to each other. And then when they went behind closed doors, they said the shit that they couldn't say.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think in the past 2 weeks, we've probably had more progress in ending this war than we have in the past 3.5 years. And I think the fact that we're around this table
Y'all
today
tap the screen
is
if
very
y'all just
much
coming in.
symbolic in the sense that it's Team Europe.
If you want to
and
get up in the
Team
box
United
on
States
TikTok, please
helping
jump in the
Ukraine.
box, join the
And
box.
the
I would
progress
love
that
to hear
we're
what you got to
looking
say.
out of this meeting,
We would love to
is
hear what
about
you got to
the
say.
security guarantees,
We are
which are a big
live
part,
over on YouTube,
of this.
pulling you
And then,
into
of
the
course,
conversation,
moving towards
TikTok.
the
Come on in
process
with
for the
it.
trilateral meeting
Come
with
on
you,
in, get in the box.
and
Somebody hit that
President
guest
Putin and
box.
President Zelensky. Some of the international media might wonder.
Let's just say everybody is scared, right? Everybody's been at a deadlock. They have not been able to get Putin at the table. They have not been able to make contact with Putin as far as that goes, right? So everybody's kind of scared, you know. And now that, you know, Trump got Putin at the table, they all want to try to utilize this to make sure that they're safe, right? You got Finland. Finland said they got 800 miles of border that they share with Russia, right? If Russia is trying to push towards the west, then Russia has to go out through one of these exits, right? They have to get in through Finland. Sweden is neutral, right? And you know, the UK is right there, right? So in order to get to Germany or anything, Russia would have to go through these territories, right? And Russia said that they are not going to allow the Ukraine to join NATO, right? Now, Biden put a lot of stuff in play because Biden was the one who told them that, that they could join. And that's what started the attacks, allegedly, supposedly, right? That's what made Putin start attacking, because Biden told them that they could join. Right? And where they met at in Alaska, Russia did sell that to America, and it's controversial, right? They're still having controversy on that. That's what Trump said. Trump said it wouldn't have happened if Biden didn't say that, right? So this is what Trump said, Bobby. You could say that I'm wrong, but I'm just telling you what Trump said.
If we have a deal which is compliant with this long-standing and robust peace, this is a great news. And your president indeed is very confident about the capacity he has to get this deal done, which is a good news for all of us, and can break this, I would say, this daily killings, which are the responsibility of the Russian aggressor. So I think it's a great news. My point, and this is what...
Hey, Cleo, I want you to make up your mind, right? Cleo, I'm going to need you guys to make up your mind. First, you guys said I was broke, right? And now you guys are saying that I'm paying for bots, right? I want you to go look at my numbers, look at my watch time, right? There's no possible way I can be paying for that many bots. Do you know how much money that is? You're talking about 35K views, 38K views, 40-something K views, right? Look at the numbers. That is over $10,000 something dollars. You're not making sense, Cleo. You guys don't make sense over here on YouTube. If you're mad that I fit an algorithm, if you're mad that I'm getting pushed into the algorithm, it's probably because we're not over here talking about the same low vibrational shit that y'all talking about. So that's probably why we're not in y'all algorithm no more. And we always said that we didn't want to be in that algorithm. So don't get mad at us. You guys should be happy, because we're not talking about Jaguar right. So you guys should be happy. I don't understand how y'all push people out the algorithm and then get mad at the people that don't want to be in the algorithm. That ain't making no sense, Cleo. Do the stuff that makes sense, okay? So
you cannot organize this discussion, in the middle of the bombs. Look, today we were with President Zelensky. President Trump called President Putin at the end of our meeting, and we meet again right after this call. In the meantime, the Russian army organized a series of strikes on civilians in Ukraine. So it's impossible for an Ukrainian president and Ukrainian officials to have talks about peace as their country is being destroyed and as their civilians are being killed.
Let me ask you about the discussion.
That's the question. That's the one that I want to answer, right? How are you sitting here making trilateral meetings and setting up for these meetings, and Putin is still bombing stuff? Like, Putin is still making attacks and they're setting up for a trilateral meeting? How? Something is not right. And you can't say like, oh, he's just getting all his anger out right now. No, something's not right. A ceasefire should be put in place until the meeting. Like, ceasefire. You can't keep on doing shit. You can't say, okay, I'm going to meet you in 2 weeks, but until then, I'm going to keep on fucking shit up. You know what I mean? It's just not making sense. You're meeting with the president, you're trying to set up this, but you're undermining the democracy. You're undermining, because you're sitting there playing in the faces of the world, right? You're playing in the faces of the world because you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, let's put this meeting together. I want peace. I want peace. But then you're still attacking. You know what I'm saying? And no one's mentioning these 20,000 children that was taken. Putin's not saying that he's going to release the 20,000 children. Trump mentioned 1,000 prisoners of war. Trump said, the 1,000 prisoners of war will be released probably immediately, right? So the prisoners of war is going to be released. We need to talk about these 20,000 kids that should be released, right?
You agree to, as it relates to security guarantees, does that mean European troops, and does that mean U.S. troops?
Look, I think for me, it's a very important progressive aspect.
See? He didn't answer that question. Nobody is answering that question. When you talk about these security measures that you want in place, are you talking about European troops or are you talking about American troops? Because if Putin changes his mind on this, or if Putin goes into a deal and reneges, right? This puts, I don't even know what number they might be talking about. But if a deal is signed, then American troops and European troops are going to have to go to Ukraine to ensure the security around this. Unless we're just giving air support or more air supplies. I mean, before it was like we were just training their troops. So American troops was just giving training to Ukrainian troops. But now, if this deal goes down, right, now this possibly puts American troops there. That's why they're asking the question. This security that you're talking about, is this security going to put European troops or American troops, or both? And you watch how they avoid this question.
It's a very important progress of the past few days that your president expressed the clear commitment of the US to be part of the security guards. It's brand new. And last February, when I took the responsibility to gather a series of European leaders with President Zelensky in Paris, and we followed up in London, and we created this coalition of the willing. And it was a reaction to the feeling we had that we could see a temptation to go to a rapid peace, but without any guarantee for Ukraine. And we know what it means. It was Georgia 2008, but it was as well Crimea 2014. And there is full certainty that if you make any peace deal without security guarantee, Russia will never respect its words, will never comply with its own commitments. So it's for us totally critical. And this is an essential part of any deal for Ukraine and for the Europeans. This is for our own security. So this is a very important progress of the past few days that the US now is
Russian
willing
soldiers
to be
will be there. They're
Christian
already
Walker joins us now live. Christian, that was just a
committed
portion of
to
that
all
interview.
of
You also
Europe,
spoke to
both
President
US.
Macron about how
Yeah, you're
optimistic
right.
he feels about a deal.
Tom, I did.
How
And
do I make no sense if everybody's asking that same
rapid
question?
peace. It was Georgia 2008, but it was a reaction to, and we created this coalition of the world. And it was a reaction to the feeling we had that we could see a temptation to go to a rapid peace, but without any guarantee for Ukraine. And we know what it means. It was Georgia 2008, but it was as well Crimea 2014. And there is full certainty that if you make any peace deal without security guarantee, Russia will never respect its words, will never comply with its own
I'm telling you, look.
So
now I bet you.
Embarrassing
I bet you the Ukraine give up land. I bet you the Ukraine give up land. I bet you they do. Either they're going to say that it's still their land, Russia can occupy it some type of way. This is going to, this trade-off is going to be about land. Putin says he cannot. He needs this territory. He said he cannot. Right? Everybody wants to take this out of the equation. But Putin is saying, now we can say that the Ukraine was a part of Russia already, and now they're fighting for their independency, blah, 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 all this other stuff, right?
To cede some territory to Russia in exchange for security guarantee. Trump, Zelensky, 7 other European leaders. The deal that seems to be emerging here would require Ukraine to cede some territory to Russia in exchange for security guarantees from the U.S. and European allies. Something similar to Article...
See that? See that? See that? So all of these other European parties have come together. Everybody has come together to basically convince Ukraine, the Ukrainian president, hey, if you do this, right, if you give up this territory, if you appease him, right, we will back you up security-wise, so on and so forth. The Ukraine president is saying, like, if I give up this land, what's to stop him from taking more? What is the security measures from him taking more, right? So this is going to turn out to be a land deal, so on and so forth. This is going to expand Russia's territory.
Article 5 NATO protections, even though Ukraine would remain outside of the NATO alliance. The president wrote on Truth Social, at the conclusion of the meetings, I called President Putin and began the arrangements for a meeting at a location to be determined between President Putin and President Zelensky. After that meeting takes place, we will have a trilat, which would be the 2 presidents plus myself.
We'll see.
So first, he's got to arrange a meeting with Putin and the Ukraine president, right? And then if that meeting goes good, then they're going to do you even think before you speak? No, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just like to hear myself talk, kind of like everybody else. Shut your ass up. Of course, I'm thinking before I speak. So they're going to have he's got to set up 2 meetings, right? The trilateral meeting will be trying to bring in the security measures, right, from NATO. Even though Ukraine is not a part of NATO, they still want to use certain NATO securities. That's where the Article 5 comes in, right? So on and so forth, right? So they want to get the protection from NATO and US, right? And they only can do that with that, I guess, due to the fact that, you know, Ukraine is not a part of NATO. Why is he even involved? He's a grifter. Who's a grifter? Who's grifting? Oh my goodness. Good pictures. Hey, listen, the shape of this world is changing as we know it. You guys see that. And the world is changing as we know it. Don't you can sit there and try to make it seem like you don't see the change. You can sit there and act like you don't recognize the change. You can do all of that stuff. But the world is changing. Ukraine wanted to be NATO. If he gives up Ukraine, Poland is next. If Trump make a deal on Alaska, Russian military on America's soil. Trump's not making no deal on Alaska. This is not about giving up no American soil. This is about ending the war in Ukraine. Trump is the ultimate grifter. Just like the Epstein files changing as we know it. Is it? Is the Epstein files changing as we know it?
In a certain period of time, not very far
I
from
didn't
now,
know it was changing.
a week or 2 weeks, we're going to know whether or not we're going to solve this, or is this horrible fighting going to continue? We'll do the best to get it ended. And I believe you have two willing parties, and usually that's good news.
Now, for his part, Zelensky emerged from this meeting ready and willing to engage with Putin.
We supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we're ready.
This sounds from the first meeting in the White House. What you're hearing now is the sounds from the first meeting in the White House, and then this is the conversation from the second meeting in the White House. Ukraine is saying that, we want our 20,000 children back. We want, some of the people that you have as prisoners back, so on and so forth. So that's what Ukraine is asking for, plus the violence, however you look at it, right? Russia is asking for territory, so on and so forth, right? Now, I don't know if they're going to occupy, maybe it will be Ukrainian land, but the territory of Russia, or Russia land, but territory of Ukraine. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to come up with some type of agreement. And the people are going to back up the Ukrainian president by saying, like, okay, if you enter this, then Europe and the United States are going to, help out in this many ways. Now, Putin probably looking at this and he's probably saying, damn, this actually traps us in, right? Because if all of them are at the table, these are all directions that border, all of these people. Finland, they're a part of NATO and they border Russia, right? And then, basically everybody else is trying to make sure, that they don't get, what's stopping him from doing this again. That's what they're all concerned with.
Full trilateral, as President said.
And the big question now is whether Russia would be willing to accept these NATO-like protections for Ukraine to bring this war to an end.
Yeah, Doug, that is the question after the Russian foreign minister yesterday said that they would not.
And what does this mean? What does this mean for Trump if he can close out a deal of this magnitude? What does that mean for him? Is this great accomplishments? This means something great, right? I mean, he could fuck around and get a Nobel Peace Prize for this, right? You say he won't? All right, what how many people think? You think he can get it done or won't get it done? Come on, get it done or won't get it done in the comment section. Get it done or won't get it done. Do you think Trump can close out a deal of this magnitude? We're not even worried about if Putin is going to stick to the deal, because first a deal would have to be in place, right? So do you guys think that he can close out this magnitude of a deal? He won't do anything. James from TikTok said he won't do anything. Appreciate that, James. Appreciate you chiming in and putting something in the comment section, letting us know you're a real person. He will without firing a shot. Okay, we got some people over here that's looking at possibly positive. James over on YouTube said nope. He wants a peace prize when he sits. He wants a peace prize when he sent troops on his own people. Yeah, we can get into that conversation about DC and him locking down DC. Ironic that he's, going for a peace prize with the Ukraine and Russia, but here in America, he seemed to be, never mind. We're not going to speak on it. I'm wondering if you are under the age, me? Do it sound like I'm under the age? It sounds like I'm 100. Trump will say me. Yes, he is definitely going to take high credits for this. And that's not even implementing whatever types of attacks that he has to make on Obama and because a lot of people are blaming, well, not a lot of people, but Trump is blaming the Democratic Party for a lot of this stuff that's taking place right now. Also, let's look at the ironic. It's all good, we know, bro. Just stating facts. Okay. Tom, you sound like a child. Might be. Ralph, you smoke. I just heard your lighter. Stop listening to the sounds of the background. Damn. What you training for Stalker 101 or some shit? Listening to the sounds of my background and shit? Was that a lighter I heard? What was that sound? Hold on, let me put some music on before I light this motherfucker again. Let me put some music on. Let me try to blend it in with the music. Damn. Let me try to blend it in with the music. Hey, y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button, man. Love is love. Appreciate y'all for being here. And if you don't hit the thumbs up button, it don't even matter. I appreciate you for, being in this space. Lil Wayne entered the room. I didn't see Lil Wayne enter the room. Putin ain't scared. It's the ops. West Virginia in the building. What's going on? Miami in the building. What's going on? Hey, love is love, man. Grand rising to y'all, man. Hey, where everybody else coming in from? It's a lot of people in here. Show YouTube that you're real. Put your city in the chat. Put your state in the chat. Put your country in the chat. Show YouTube that you're a real person. They think y'all are bots. Dominican Republic, okay. Michigan in the building. Texas in the building. Tacoma in the building. South Carolina, what's up? Damn, sorry to hear that you lost part of your leg. Georgia in the building, Arizona in the building. I mean, you guys don't think that peace can come out of this? I'm looking for, peace. Why are you guys still looking for the Epstein files? They're about to release government files, disclosure information, all of that stuff. They telling us the aliens real. Did y'all not hear that?
Hanging with Mr. Wise.
Ralph the Wise. I just had to hear that part. I just hit the part. Ralph the Wise. I just had to hear that part. I just had to hear the part. I like that part. I like that part. Yeah, so you guys don't think peace is possible? I think that we might be on the verge of seeing a piece of peace. Thank you. Thank you. One's in the chat. One's in the chat if you want peace. One's in the chat if you want peace. Putin has moral values. Russia will do whatever they want with Ukraine. Okay. Where's the Epstein files? Go find them. Go look them up. Yes, you know, Trump was friends with Epstein. There's trips in 93, 87, numerous trips. Might have been on the verge of being best friends. I'm not sure. We want peace, man. Let's let the U.S. lead an example of peace, okay? Let us have peace in our nation. Let us have peace in our states. Let us have peace with one another, and let us lead by that exemplary measure of peace. I think the president is taking the right approach right now, right? In this time, America needs to be more peaceful, right? We need to show examples of this, right? Not only outside of our country, but inside of our country, we need to show examples of this peace, right? One's in the chat if you agree with me. Just put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. If you feel like we should be, I done seen a lot of stuff in this world. I ain't seen peace. I done seen a lot of stuff in this world. I ain't seen unity. Let us see what that is like one time. I'm trying to see what peace is like one time. I'm trying to see what unity is like one time. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of everybody getting on the road with road rage. I'm tired of everybody jumping on the, oh man, this, da-da-da-da-da. I'm tired of that. Let's be at peace. Let's treat each other better, right? There's enough people in the world. We ain't got to keep treating each other fucked up. There's over 9 billion people in this world. We ain't got to keep treating each other fucked up, right? We don't care about each other in this world. Somehow, some way, we have to bring that back. So if you want peace, put a 1 in the comment section. Remember, TikTok, if you want to come up, please jump in the box and come up. YouTube, if anybody on YouTube wants to join the conversation, go over to Energy of Atlas on TikTok. Come up in the box. Let us hear what you have to say, okay? No peace in America, no peace prize. We are all human. What the fuck? If we all human, then we need peace in America. KIK 1. Okay. Don't know what all that means. All right. But yeah, I want peace. I want peace. I'm saying, like, yes, we can look at the trickery in this. Yes, we can say that we're going to get duped. Yes, we can say that, you know, this might end bad, right? But nothing beat a failure but a try. We got to try. We got to try. They got, you, at least they're at the table. You know, all these people at the table at least, you know. No, some people want their peace. They don't want peace. They want their peace. Like their piece of the American dream, their piece of the pie, their piece of the royalties, their piece of the reserve. Like everybody want a piece of something, but everybody don't want peace. Some people want a peace, a particular type of peace. And in their peace, guess what? Black people might be eliminated in their peace. White people might be eliminated in their peace. You don't know what the next person's peace is. You don't know what brings them peace. That's why you got to be cautious of what someone else's peace is, right? Right now, everybody can say they want peace, but everybody's idea of peace is not the same thing. Guess what? Some of y'all don't exist in some people's idea of peace. in some people's idea of peace, some of us is eliminated.
But President Trump said that he got a different message from Vladimir Putin, so clearly more needs to be hashed out as progress is being made. Doug Lazater, live for us in Washington. Doug, thank you.
Early, yes. I mean, this has been an incredible 72 hours ever since the Alaska summit.
And that's why I say, like, I don't know, like maybe they probably going to end up doing this in Moscow. I see this maybe next week arrangement with the Ukraine president, but I see like maybe September the 7th or the first week of September. I think possibly, you know, this agreement might, you know, be underway, or, you know, that trilateral meeting might take place. Like I said, right now, the reason why this is so big is because worldwide, this is being looked at. This moment right here is being analyzed from so many different points of views, you know. Who gives a fuck about Ted Nugent? Trump said he don't want to be there. Trump said he didn't want to be there, but Ukraine said that he thinks, you know, him and his people will be more comfortable as Trump was there. So, you know, you got to think, like, the European, they said they've been at a deadlock with Putin. Europe has, they said they literally been at a deadlock with Putin. So, you know, this could change the tides of everything, you know. The UK might not dislike us so much because there's so many people that dislike America right now, right? If we can close out a good deal, you know, and they actually hold true to the peace, right? This could, you know, we might not be looked at as, you know, so bad over there, right? A lot of people, like even India is scared, you know, India is scared. They looking at us sideways like now, right? Trump done flip-flopped on us a couple of times. Trump went from saying that he was focused on, you know, Trump said he was focused on a ceasefire. Then he said, you know, peace can come without a ceasefire. You know, taking one of Putin's, you know, merits on the whole take, right? You know, and everybody is saying, like, how can we have another meeting? How can we go forward with another meeting if he's still bombing stuff? That's what they're saying. How are we moving forward to another meeting if they're still, if Putin is still doing stuff, right? And then they're also looking for justice. They're not looking for this just to be a slap on the wrist, right? They're looking, you know, for justice in this, right? Now I'm trying to figure out why Trump keep bringing up ballots and votes. Why is he worried about the next election and trying to get ballot voting taken out of the next election? Like, the next election ain't got nothing to do with you. Your 8 years is up. So why is he worried about, why is he talking to everybody about ballots? I don't get that. He keep on bringing this up. Why? Why is that?
With Monday.com's into...
He's got something up his sleeve.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have the president of Ukraine with us. We've had a lot of good discussions, a lot of good talks, and I think progress is being made, very, very substantial progress in many ways. We had a good meeting, as you know, just a short while ago with the president of Russia. And I think there's a possibility that something could come out of it, and today's meeting is very important. We have, I guess, the seven very powerful leaders from Europe, and we're going to be meeting with them right after this meeting, and thank you very much for being here.
Thanks so much, Mr. President. If I can, first of all, thank
Please.
you for invitation, and thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war. Thank you. And using this opportunity, many thanks to your wife, First Lady of the United States. She sent a letter to Putin about our children, adopted children, and my wife, First Lady of Ukraine. She gave the letter. It's not to you, to your wife. Yeah. So we're saying this sensitive topic. Yes, please. And thanks to our partners, and that you supported this format. That after our meeting we can have leaders who are around us: UK, France, Germany, Italy, Finland, EU, NATO. I mean, all partners around Ukraine supporting us. Thanks to them. Thank you very much for invitation.
Thank you very much for being here.
President Trump.
Do you think it's fair?
Yes, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So, President Zelensky, you say in the Post-Times today, Russia must end this war, which it itself started. President Trump, you say President Zelensky of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to, which is it?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week, I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason, a big number, a lot of soldiers.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a deal between Russia and America too, because that's why they keep on pushing this whole security thing, this security
And as you met
thing.
with Putin on Friday, today you've got President Zelensky here. As you listen to Russia and Ukraine, which side has the better cards?
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just here to be, look, this isn't my war. This is Joe Biden's war. He's the one that
See?
had a lot to do with this happening, and we want to get it ended. And we want it to end good for everybody. We want it to
See? Told you he said Joe Biden did it. See, y'all talking about something. You lying, this, that, and the third. He never said Joe Biden did it. Yes, he said Joe Biden did it. He said he don't think Russia would attack Ukraine if Joe Biden didn't say that they can be a part of NATO.
end good.
He said it. Your president said it. Y'all calling me dumb.
President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops?
I know, but over on YouTube, they calling me dumb for saying
Are you
it.
going to agree?
And I'm telling them I didn't say it. The president said it.
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. That today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead, small one year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support, American and European partners, and we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is.
Hey, y'all hit that like button and hit that share button so it can go up.
I ordered
Hit
two.
the like button, hit the share button so it can go up. So like I said, everybody is speculating this. What's the power play behind this? What is the trick behind this? Everybody is looking at this the same way. Everybody has the same questions, right? What's the trick behind it? What is the catch-22? Go to bed. Oh, you told somebody else to go to bed. Complaining. Who's complaining? Someone's complaining? Hey, make sure y'all join the Discord. Anybody want to be mods? I need some more mods over here on YouTube. So we're looking to get some new mods. Anybody want to be mods? Let me know. You need some moderators in here. I just said that. I just was saying that. You got to come over to the Discord. That way I know there'll be a lot of BS on here with people making, fake pages and stuff like that. But I got to make sure that I know who the mods are, because I done had problems with mods. Some people will become a mod and then they'll block everybody out your live, and it just gets crazy. It just gets crazy. Okay, so the meeting itself had nothing to do with Zelensky, or are you saying like in general? What are you saying had nothing to do with Zelensky?
Between us.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have the president of Ukraine with us. We've had a lot of good discussion. Thank you very much for being here.
President Trump.
Do you think it's fair?
Yes, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So, President Zelensky, you say in a close context today you've got President Zelensky here. As you listen to Russia and Ukraine, which side has the better cards?
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just here to be, look, this isn't my war. This is Joe Biden's war. He's the one that had a lot to do with this happening, and we want to get it ended. And we want it to end good for everybody. We want it to end good. The people of Ukraine have suffered incredibly.
President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple of years, or are you going to agree to redraw the maps?
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. That today have been a lot of attacks, a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead.
Rechange the maps.
One year and a half.
Change the maps.
We need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support American and European partners, and we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, make a diplomatic way of finishing this war, and we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is very good. Thank you.
Mr. President.
If the peace deal will be achieved, are you going to be willing to send American peacekeepers to Ukraine?
But we're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine. And we're going to make sure it works.
Would this make you
See? That's what I'm afraid of right there. That's what I'm afraid of right there. That's what I'm afraid of right there. What he just said. That's what I'm afraid of. Long term, making this work, working with Russia. That means America. Man, listen. I mean, hey, the price of cigars might be down.
Could that involve U.S. troops? Would you roll that out in the future?
We'll let you know that maybe later today.
I'm trying to
We're
be
meeting with 7 great
rude
leaders
as
of
Taco
great
is.
countries also.
Who's Taco? I don't see Taco. I don't see Taco in the chat.
There'll be a lot of.
Let me scroll back.
There'll be a lot of help. When it comes to security, there's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be good. They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe. but we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved.
Oh, Tom is talking.
You mentioned that the war will not end without addressing the root causes of this war. Have you had an understanding what are the root causes of this war?
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants
It's
it to
okay,
end.
Tom.
Vladimir
You need a
Putin
virtual
wants it to end.
hug,
I think
Tom?
the whole world is tired of it.
Control yourself,
and we're
Tom.
Going to get it ended. It was,
Control
there's
yourself.
6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it, and they'll be talking about it for a long time, but they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan, we're talking about the big places. When you look at, you just take a look at some of these wars, you go to Africa and take a look at that, Rwanda and the Congo. Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear, as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran. And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group, and
Come on, you can't say stuff like
very big countries.
that. Trumpy
great people,
was
all friends
diddler
of mine,
on the
friends of yours.
roof.
And we're going to have some suggestions made. They
Come
want to see
on,
peace. They
man.
want to see peace.
Tom, you're going to get yourself booted, man. Tom, be respectful now, Tom. You're going to get yourself booted.
Do you think it's fair for Ukraine and for Russia to achieve a lasting and durable peace if Ukraine cedes its territories that Russia hasn't yet conquered?
Hey, leave Happy Breeder alone, or Happy Breed, leave them
To
alone.
answer the first part of your question, we're going to have a lasting peace.
Oh, he's going to stop because my mods are going to mute him.
I hope it doesn't have to
My
go
mods
long.
are going to mute him, so he's going to stop.
I think people, the whole world is going to be very happy when that's announced. Yeah.
You posted on social media, Mr. President, a very touching letter from the First Lady, and the letter was hand-delivered to President Putin, and it calls for an end to the war, essentially, because of the children and the children's future. Why did the First Lady feel that letter was necessary? Was it because she
Because
believed
it's
that
20,000
Putin
kids
was
snatched
the
up.
aggressor in the war? Is a similar letter being hand-delivered to President Zelensky?
So the First Lady felt very strongly. She's watched the same thing that you watch and that I watch. I see things that you don't get to see, and it's horrible. But when she's got a great love of children, she has a wonderful son that she loves, probably more than anybody, including me. I hate to say it, but she loves her son. She loves children.
Hey, Tom, I just want to let you know how childish you really sound, right? I asked you to have respect, right? And you said, she started it. Like, what? How old are you? How old are you? She started it. What the hell? Come on, Tom. We better than that. We better than that, Tom. I just want us all to get along. Yeah, y'all can talk in the comment section. Y'all can say, you know what I'm saying? But come on, don't hit me with the she started this shit. We is not kindergartens. You know what I'm saying? We is not. I'm not trying to boot you. That's why I'm trying to give you the opportunity to control yourself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say nothing this whole time to nobody. I'm giving you an opportunity to control yourself, right? I don't want to boot nobody. My mods are not even going to boot you. My mods are going to mute you, right? No, he good, he good. Nah, yeah, you probably gonna have to mute him. I don't care what happened in the chat. I'm not scrolling back to the past to see what happened, right? I'm hoping that everybody in here is adult-like and they can carry themselves as such, right? If somebody's saying something that you don't want to hear, you don't have to respond to it, and vice versa, right? That's what I'm saying. Once you realize the conversation goes to a certain point, then you should end the conversation. That's all I'm saying, Tom. Be the adult here, Tom. Be the adult. Be the bigger person. You got this, Tom. I believe in you. I believe that you can be the bigger person, Tom.
And she hates to see something like this happening. And that goes for other wars too. I mean, she sees the heartbreak, the parents, the funerals that you see on television. Always funerals. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt it was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him. And she did ask me to say, you know, she would love to see this end. She would love to see it end. And she says it very openly, very proudly, and with great sorrow, because so many people have been killed.
I'm calling your mother.
Brian, go ahead, Brian.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for each of you.
Yes.
First of all, Mr. President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, President Zelensky wore the suit this time. You remember the last time in February, he didn't wear the suit, right? And Vince got on him about the suit. He wore a suit this time. Remember the reporter that asked him, you know, why didn't he wear the suit? That's the reporter right there that said, you look fabulous in that suit. That's the reporter right there. Hey, they always, this is what they sat down and did, just flattered each other the whole time. Like, it was just, that wasn't very nice. This wasn't very nice. Like, this time they just played. See? Look, even Trump pointed it out. Trump pointed it out, said, he attacked you last time. You know, the Ukraine president said, I remember. I remember. That's him. That's the reporter I said, when I come back, I'm fucking them up.
Apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit.
He burned the reporter. Damn, Zelensky got jokes. He told the reporter, he said, last time I wasn't in a suit. This time I'm in a different suit. And you're in the same suit. Come on, Trump. You got to admit, that's a good one. Come on, that is a good one. He said, and you're in the same suit.
I apologize to you. You look wonderful. No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit.
You're in the same suit.
See, I changed you.
Real quickly, upon peace, God willing.
He said, I changed, you're not.
Election in your country.
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances, and a little bit we need to work in the parliament, because you're
ouch, right?
Can't have elections,
He burned
we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere in the battlefield.
Well, you know, actually, like, if you look at the world being one big stage, then it was only right that he got his burn back. You know what I mean? You got to think about this. He had to go back to his country, you know, and answer questions of, you know, why you let that reporter come, you know, talk to you like that. They made a mockery of you, so on and so forth. And, you know, despite however it went, they made sure this one was a lot better, right? So on and so forth. With the proper respects, because it's a custom for them to wear black, and it's a custom for them to wear a certain attire the whole time, because their country is in mourning right now and in war, you know, so they wear the black, and they wear, so that's why he had the all black on. That's why he had the all black on last time.
The sky and the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal legal elections.
So you say
we're ready.
during the war, you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake
You like
news
this
is.
idea?
Did you hear what Trump joke? Did you hear the joke that Trump just made? Right? Trump just said 3.5 years from now, if we end up in a war, no more elections. He's still thinking about how he can be the last seated president. He's still sitting there thinking like, okay, so if I start a war at the end of this election, it freezes the election, no more elections. This is what he just said. Why the fuck is you thinking about that if you sitting here trying to create peace with Russia and the Ukraine, but then thinking about how you can start a war in order to stay in the seat? What the fuck?
Speaking of news, I got a question for you.
I wonder what the
even he was like, no. Listen.
You like this idea?
Speaking of news, I got a
Watch, listen.
Save
legal elections.
So you say during the war, you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now.
3.5 years from now.
We happen to be in a war with somebody. No more elections. Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake
You like
news
this
is.
idea?
Speaking of news, I got a question for you. This sounds insane for me even to ask this, but do you think the American media really doesn't even want a peace deal because they've seen they've been so critical of you every step of the way as you lead the charge for peace?
It's an amazing phenomenon. I said that if in the settlement you got Moscow, St. Petersburg.
So let me ask you guys, is it peace or is it Trump? If it was somebody else that was promoting peace, do you think we would be behind it as the media? Because we're America media, basically, you know, we're the critics, we're the I'm pretty sure it didn't matter who it was that would have, I think more people would have been on the board of peace. Check out what Churchill wore when he visited the White House in World War II. It was not a dress suit. He was a leader at war. Yeah, some of these people have proper attire or accustomed to certain variations of attire during wartime, during mourning time, during these different times. It's a custom that you wear something accustomed to your people. I think we should put out and stop being the cops of the world. Start worried about our own. It's sad that as a country now, I agree with you on focus on us. We need some more programs for the homeless. Mental health is at an all-time high. I think we need to start rebuilding some of these project buildings, abandoned buildings, maybe, doing an incentive program for the homeless and putting them in the buildings, saying that you have to take care of this building. Of course, with some requirements, we can build back some of these old abandoned buildings. I go through the cities all the time and there's so many abandoned buildings. Why are we not utilizing them? There should be a fixing building program here, where we're fixing buildings back up and allowing certain people to occupy them. You can put, housing programs in for the homeless, and tell them like, hey, if you work and, take drug tests, so on and so forth, you can stay here, so on and so forth. There's a lot of things that we can be doing inside of our country to make it, better. Even with, people right now, jobs are at an all-time low. Unemployment rate is at an all-time low. If we start a fill-in program, a fill-in.com program, not a fill-in.com, but a fill-in program for people who are employed. If you take Lowe's, Target, Home Depot, Walmart, all of these jobs that require customer service, if you take those jobs and you allow people to fill in for those people, that acquires more, revenue for taxes, so on and so forth, right? It changes the unemployment rate. Um, so, we need, I'm trying to, put in to get in touch with somebody of a higher level that I can shoot this idea to so we can get this started, because this type of company, you know, it will pretty much run itself. It will pretty much run itself. It's not a temp agency. It's a service that allows people who are employed to get days off, and someone fills in for them, and they still get paid by their company. The person that fills in for them get paid by the fillin.com service, so on and so forth. So it allows people to get more days off, get a home life back, family, life back. You still get your check from your company, so on and so forth. And, they get paid by the company that, put in that person for you. All businesses and companies are backed up because they would never have to worry about being short staffed again. It would be like an on-call service for, people, right? So basically like Uber does, or, so on and so forth. Basically, companies can use this to find somebody to fill in for that day, and also employees can use this to find somebody to fill in when they need it. And this will allow people to work at different jobs like Home Depot, outside garden, so on and so forth, in order to accumulate hours. So somebody can go from Home Depot to Lowe's and put in a couple of hours. Somebody can go from this person to that person and put in a couple of hours. You know what I mean? Yay. Hey, you looking up my family history. Don't look up my family history. Look up my history. Don't try to look up my brother's history and do all of that extra shit. Block that person. Don't just time that person out. That person's putting out like family member names and stuff like that. Block that person. I can't click on that person again, but whoever that was, block that person. Yeah, so like you gotta look at this world for, what it is and everything like that. Damn, that's crazy. Y'all stalking like that over here on YouTube? I did not know it was like that. You said New Jersey record state. Damn, what you looking up New Jersey records for? Hey, you know what? We need a song break. We need a song break. Y'all get them likes up. Tap the screen. They trying to fuck up the vibe in here. Huh? Hey, spam emojis in the comment section. Everybody pick an emoji. Put it in the comment section. Don't spam it, but just pick some emojis. Put them in the comment section. Don't let them change the vibe. Love is love over here. Stay in positivity. They want to vibe with love is love. Talk to them. Day 8. Wait. If you're gonna dish it out, then take it. If you're gonna wish it out, just face it. And don't be mad to hear me say, you mad cause they love me. I said you mad cause they love me. They wanna vibe with love is love. They wanna vibe with love is love. They wanna vibe. The crazy things you do. If you're gonna dish it, then eat it. Hungry ego and you feed it. Starve yourself of what is true. Because No, it's all falsified. I don't know what they're looking up over here. So, you know, if they wanted to tell the truth about it, then they should actually tell the truth. I got taken away from my mom when I was 7 years old. I got taken away from my dad when I was 12 years old. I've been on my own since I was 13 years old, in and out of programs and group homes, right? I don't know, my grandmom had 15 kids, my mom had 13 kids. I don't know which one of them might have been using my name. You know what I mean? I was in group homes, foster homes. If you look at the dates on there, some of those dates on there say 1997, right? I was 13 years old at that time, a juvenile. So it's no way that I was that person that they're talking about. They are looking at whatever it is that they're finding that's on my family. It's not on me. It's on my family. My uncle has the same name as me, right? So when they look it up, they see a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Like my brother, used to use my brother used to use different variations of my so that's how that went. Let them keep on looking stuff up. May 9th, 1939, April 30th, 2020, the American track and field. Man, they talking about, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The history of that name goes back, and they just pulling up anything and throwing out anything. Ralph Boston was a track and field, Ralph Boston. I don't know who the fuck they looking up. Let them continue doing it. You know what I mean? I don't know what they looking up, who they looking up, but let them continue doing it. And I think what they're doing is just putting out anything and hoping that I respond to something. You know what I mean? Over here on YouTube, there's a lot of jealous people. They don't like when your room do better numbers than them. They don't like when your page do better than theirs. And they're looking at my page, and because I don't have that many subscribers, they are looking at the numbers that's coming in here based off of the topic and the conversation, and they're trying to figure out how is this possible. They're trying to figure out if the numbers are real. Whatever it is that they do over here on YouTube, we have nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Let them continue to do what it is that they do. We'll move forward with peace, and we'll move forward with, just holding conversations of different variations of things, okay? So let's continue to do that. Let them stay mad. Let them stay mad. We moving we moving with love. Lock in with us, YouTube. You see how jealous they are already that y'all just coming to the page. Y'all ain't even sub yet, and they already jealous. Imagine if y'all sub to the page, they'll really be jealous. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Look. When was the last time you heard us talk about them? When was the last time you heard us talk about anybody in the Jaguar right sector? But these is all the people coming from the Jaguar right sector. When was the last time you heard us talking about them? Right? You don't even hear us speaking about them no more. Right? But they're all still coming over here trying to, because they want to be relevant. You know what I mean? That's all that is. They say anything. They looking up anything. They looking up everything. You see Cleo coming here. That's why I need more mods. That's why I need more mods. Get them up out of here. His honor gone in like sour. Hey, it's giving obsession, ain't it? It's giving obsession. It's giving obsession. Right? You need to go back to open discussion. That's what I'm saying. Like, hopefully, with everybody at the table, hopefully, an open discussion can take place. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, Lunchbox, I appreciate the subscription, man. Appreciate it. Love is love, man. We at the Atlas family, we welcome you with open arms, man. Appreciate you for the sub. Yeah, I think, open discussion is good. That's why, one of the things that I say is, be mad at the discussion. Don't be mad at the person, right? Don't be mad at the person. Be mad at the discussion. Be mad at the conversation. Don't be mad at the person. A lot of these people add their feelings and emotions to this, and then they end up mad at the person instead of the discussion. Be mad at the discussion,
And thousands of miles around them, they would say, I made a bad deal. The level of hatred and animosity is incredible. Not with all. I mean, we have great people up here. We also have terrible people up there that I think are told what to say. But, in solving all of these wars, they don't even write about it. I saw major wars. I saw wars that have been going on for 31, 35, and 37.
Why are you bragging about wars that you think you settled? You keep on bragging about this war in the Congo.
You know what the one I'm talking about. It was a big one. But they don't even write about that. No matter what I do, no matter what.
They also need to realize that they can't fight Trump on every single issue. The majority of America actually want less crime, secure borders, etc. Every person has the ability to agree, even if it's to disagree. Absolutely. What channel is this on? It's on the channel that you're on right now. You're watching it. It's on this channel right now. You're tuned in.
Now I get the worst publicity anyone's ever gotten in office, but I won in a landslide, so the people understand. They're the only ones that count, ultimately. But I've also had great reporters. I've had journalists that are very good. But it's very sad when you do the right thing. As an example, they said, because of the fact that Vladimir Putin came to America.
It's not on TV. It's not on TV. I'm looking up. You're watching it with me. All right.
American soil. This was a tremendous defeat for Donald Trump. No, it was really wonderful that he did it. It was a hard thing for him to do, to be honest with you. It was the opposite of what they said, but they said it. Now, if he didn't come, they'd say that was also bad for Trump. Yeah, there's no way.
Hey everyone, big heads up, Paleo Valley's running a sale on
but that's
all their
the
meat
thing,
sticks right now.
There's just a great dishonesty of the press, and I think that's why it's lost its credibility. Its credibility is at an all-time low. We have a thing going on right now in D.C. We went from the most unsafe place anywhere to a place that now friends are calling me up, Democrats are calling me up, and they're saying, sir, I want to thank you. My wife and I went out to dinner last night for the first time in 4 years, and Washington, D.C. is safe, and you did that in 4 days. I'll tell you, it's safe. I had another friend of mine, he has a son who's a great golfer, he's on tour, and he came in fourth yesterday in the big tournament where Scotty Scheffler made the great shot, and he said his son is going to dinner in Washington, D.C. tonight. I said, would you have allowed that to happen a year ago? He said, no way, no way. He said, what you've done is incredible. And I think the people realize it. But the press says he's a dick.
Now, see, he's bringing up the D.C. thing. right? Because he's trying to say, like, you know, he made DC safe again. People are thanking him in DC, saying that, you know, we finally was able to go out to eat. But that's not what it's showing, right? If you look at the Athena situation that just took place in DC, and no, when I say Athena, I'm not talking about, Rising Phoenix. I'm talking about the Athena situation that took place in DC, where they, a ferry rider, was unjustly locked up, and they all rallied together to get her out, so on and so forth. You can look that up, right? If you look at that situation and you look at other situations, right? They saying that it's harsh out there, right? And not only that, I'm not sure, so don't hold me to it. We got to look into it, but they might have started in Virginia too. So they might have started doing this in Virginia too, right? So this is what I'm saying. Like, if you go into like deep state cable and stuff like that, if you go into that stuff, this stuff, these conspiracy theories actually prepared us for this. I don't know why people don't look into these conspiracy theories a little bit more, because these conspiracy theories actually prepared us for this. They talk about it in the conspiracy theories, deep state cable stuff. A lot of people be like, man, I'm not into that stuff. I'm not into that stuff, right? But if you look at a lot of the stuff that's on this map right here, right, you will see a lot of the stuff that's pertaining to what's going on right now, right? Twitter changed its name from Twitter to X. All of this stuff that's going on right now, certain whistleblowers, so on and so forth, everything like that, right? It's all happening now if you want to go back and look at it. But once again, that's completely up to you. But it's just ironic that a lot of the stuff that's pertaining to that is happening now, right? And they say, like, once the veil is lifted from your eyes, it can't be put back over your eyes. So you have to deal with what you're seeing as, the world big stage of things, right? So when you see the world as one big stage and it's revealed to you how these operations are working and everybody's not in the control that they think or say that they're in, right? You can't go back. You can't go back. A lot of people always say that they want to be woke, but I don't think a lot of y'all really want to be woke. There's a level of control that you got to have over your mind when it comes to being woke, because once you is shown what reality is really all about, right? You have to pretend like you don't see it. Once you see what reality is really is, and once you see the energies and entities that play and all of these energies that's moving in and out of people's vessels and so on and so forth, you got to pretend like you don't see it. When you see the infusion of the demonic energies that is put in the DNA by, operation of, putting people in their ego or their pride, you got to pretend like you can't see it. A lot of people can't really handle the truth of this world, right? It's like eyes wide shut. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of y'all walk around and y'all don't realize the manipulation of sacral chakra and sacral energy, right? A lot of people don't realize the energies that's moving around, the 72 demons of the soul of man, what you feed every day when you're allowing people to pour negative into you, right? What you feed every day when you're allowing negative conversation to take place, when you disagree with everything and everybody, when you constantly go around looking for negative, right? A lot of people don't know what they're feeding when they do all of this, right? All of y'all got the Scrooge effect going on. Oh, Christmas, bah humbug. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Dictator, he's trying to take over. No, all I want is security for our people. But people that haven't gone out to dinner in Washington, D.C. in 2 years are going out to dinner. And the restaurants the last 2 days were busier than they've been in a long time. Thank you.
I walked around yesterday with MTG. If you can walk around with DC with MTG and not be attacked, the city is safe.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week, you warned of what you called severe consequences if a 30-day ceasefire or any type of ceasefire were not agreed to by Russia. Will there be severe consequences? Does that change because of
I don't think you need a ceasefire. If you look at the 6 deals that I settled this year, they were all at war. I didn't do any ceasefires. And I know that it might be good to have, but I can
Y'all
also
make sure y'all go over to TikTok. We're gonna be
strategically,
gaming over
well,
there
one country
later
or the other
on. So
wouldn't
make
want
sure
it.
y'all come over to
You have a
TikTok.
ceasefire,
Energy
and
of
they
Atlas
rebuild
on
and
TikTok.
rebuild and rebuild,
We're gonna be
and,
gaming over there
maybe
later
they don't
on.
want that.
So
But if you look at the
if you
60
into
years
games and you play, you know what I'm saying, come over there to my gaming account and come over there and support that.
I like the concept. I like the concept of a ceasefire for one reason, because you'd stop killing people immediately,
Unaliving.
as opposed to in 2 weeks or
Unaliving.
1 week or whatever it takes. But we can work.
Trump, we're gonna have to teach you. We're gonna have to teach you new lingo, Trump. You're gonna have to start saying
I wish
unaliving.
they could stop. I'd like them to stop, but strategically that could be a disadvantage for one side or the other. But all of these deals I made without even the mention of the words ceasefire.
Can you explain the decision to offer Ukraine Article 5 license?
Nah, Donnie, get out of here with that, man. Don't do that. We shouldn't lose one life. This is what I'm saying. Like during the Aquarius sky, and the people have to change. That's all we got to do. As a collective, as a whole, we have to change the way we want to see each other, change the way we want to view each other. Y'all are okay with the amount of hate that is in the world. Y'all are okay with wishing an unaliving process on people. Y'all are okay with that. But y'all not okay with people wishing love on people. Y'all not okay with people just letting bygones be bygones, right? What happened to if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all? What happened to, having a level of respect, even if you're not getting respect, right? Where's your decency at? Where's your decorum at, right? Aren't you accountable for yourself, right? So if you hold yourself accountable, your words should reflect the accountability that you hold for yourself, right? You can't expect to run around the world and say, everybody talk to me nice, but I'm about to tell y'all some shit about yourself. No, that's not how this works.
If you look back and you go back long before President Putin, it was always a statement that they would never allow Ukraine into NATO. So that was a statement that was made. But we haven't discussed any of that yet. We're going to be discussing it today. But we will give them very good protection, very good security. That's part of it. And the people that are waiting for us, I think they're very like-minded. They want to help out also.
Thank you, President. Thank you, President Trump. The United States.
Yo, who is this reporter that's trying to talk over all the other reporters? Who is this reporter? You hear somebody asking a question and you still got your mic all the way up. Thank you, President Trump. The United States. Thank you. Listen.
The United States.
Listen.
The United States has already given hundreds of billions of dollars to this war effort in Ukraine. At best, it is a stalemate and the killing continues. So President Trump, how much more is the United States willing to give Ukraine? And President Zelensky,
He is a
how much more
bully.
do you want?
Well, I'll start off just
He
by
is
saying
a
we're
bully.
not giving anything now. We're selling weapons. This is something before, I guess the number is well over $300 billion. That was under Joe Biden, a corrupt politician, not a smart man, never was. By the way, go back 40 years, he was not a smart man 40 years ago either, but now he's in particular bad. This was done by a corrupt administration that shouldn't have been in, and frankly, if the right results
solely
of the election
focused.
were
He
given
only focused
by our
on
president,
business.
this war
That's
would have
all
never
he's
taken
focused
place,
on is
and
the
he would have
business.
been very happy because he would have liked to have
Everyone
seen.
is
They
flawed.
went through hell. He went through hell.
They are
This
using
war would have never happened, and the people
I
that were
cannot
killed,
stand him.
a couple of million people, a lot of people with
These
soldiers
Fox
and everything
News.
else, and the people that have been displaced and forced into other areas and other countries because of what's happened, none of that would have happened. And
There's probably
I'm
someone
just saying
pointing
that
at who next.
he was a horrible president, whether it was the borders or this, he was just a horrible, corrupt president.
How Gen X are getting their teenage
Why does
bodies
that
back.
matter though?
So this is my mom and this is
Why
my
is he
grandma.
saying
I
that?
recently
Like, why is he saying he was a horrible president? Horrible president. Like, come on, Trump.
So first of all, we have to
My
spend
fault.
now to block.
My fault, y'all. Due to the fact that I'm not taking donations and stuff like that, I haven't, been able to pay for, that extra, no commercials or no, you know what I mean? Because people on YouTube is, Not y'all. They're just watching so bad. They're just watching so much. They're just, you know, they just looking at us so much over here on YouTube. They don't know. They can't figure it out. See that? I want to, you know, side note, the people on YouTube are looking at you guys come through my page and it's confusing them. They don't understand how or why people are coming through this page, right? They don't understand, you know, they don't get it. They don't get it. And I just want to say kudos to everybody that comes through the page because you get it, right? There's spaces for everybody, right? There's a space for everybody. Some people just want to be in a space that is just neutral, right? And you can still conversate in the comment section, right? But if it goes too far, as adults, you're supposed to realize, you know, and not allow it to get out of hand, okay? So I'm holding everybody in here accountable, you know, to conduct themselves as adults, you know, coerce with one another, but at the same time stay in a respectable manner, right? We're going to talk about a lot of different things. Zachariah Stitchens, you know, Admiral Byrd, you know, the Emerald Tablets, you know, different things like that. Tomorrow we are going to, no, we'll do it tonight. Tonight we'll go back and look at Congresswoman Luna on the Joe Rogan show, and she's talking about different things. So tonight, I hope you guys come back, put your notifications on, or subscribe to the page. We're gonna go over that and talk about that and break down that. So we'll do a watch party for that tonight. Hope you guys come and join, and you know, don't mind me. I'm gonna break down a lot of stuff. Probably be a lot of pausing. So hope you guys enjoy it. That'll be tonight. We'll do that tonight. We'll go over the Joe Rogan and Congresswoman Luna's podcast. I mean, not podcast. Their interview.
It's not a part for the war and to defend us. It also will be a part for security guarantees, to strengthen our army, to rearm Ukrainian army. This is very, very important. And it depends how much money we need to rearm. For example, the question of air defense, we spoke about it with President Trump, and I'm happy that we have now bilateral decisions and we'll work on it with production, American production. Nobody in Europe has so many air defense like Patriots, for example. We need it very much, and this is also about defending.
Wait. Do this put us back to work? Is this saying that we got to make, because they said like air production and so on and so forth. So he talked to them about air production, and you know, he need America for this. So producing air equipment, so on and so forth. This is a fucking money's game. This is a money's game. This is a numbers game. This is business as usual. That's the security. The security is depending on how much money we need, supplies we need, more you know, more this supply, more that supply, air troops, da. This is a money's game. Fattening fucking pockets. Hey, please don't all caps in the comment section, please. We're not yelling at you. Please don't yell at us. Thank you.
I think the good news, we make the best military equipment in the world by far. You mentioned the Patriots. How good are they?
Systems.
We have systems, they're literally 100% foolproof. And it's really like shooting two bullets. You know, two bullets hitting each other in the air in a space like this. The chances, 100%. It's 99 to 100%. So we sell the equipment to NATO, and NATO does what, I don't know what the arrangement is that you have with, but I know that they want you to have the equipment. And we're getting the best equipment in the world, but they pay us for the equipment. Under Biden, it was just crazy what was going on. I believe the number is over 300. I think it could be $350 billion worth of equipment and money and everything else. And we've made more progress in settling.
What the fuck? How is we talking about money? It's literally, he's saying that we selling them this shit. So what the, so we need people to go, like, if this is, then it's like war gods or gods of war, right? We need people to go to battle because we make money on both ends. In the battle, we make money, and after the battle, rebuilding, we make money. I'm not saying it's new. I'm not saying it's new. I mean, we all kind of figured, you know, everything's about money, but, you know, when you're sitting there and you're making it all about money, you know, $350 billion, you know what I mean? Like, damn. And then when you also look at it, like, what about these 20,000 children, you know, that the Ukraine president is, you know, talking about? What about the 20,000 children that they're talking about? You know what I mean? Before, during, and after. Right. It's crazy.
This war in the last 2 months, and they made it in 4 years. This should have been settled a long time ago, but it should have never happened. Yep.
What the? Did he just say we made more in the last 4 months than we did in 3 years? What the fuck? Did we just hear that right? I made more money off of this war in the last 3 months than Biden did in 3 years. Did he just say that? Nah, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. We heard that wrong. We took that wrong. Hey, we took that wrong. No, stop. We took that wrong. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. We took that wrong. Let me rewind it. We took that wrong. He said, hold on.
Could be $350 billion worth of equipment and money and everything else. And we've made more progress in settling this war in the last 2 months than they made in 4 years. This should have been settled a long time ago, but it should have never happened. Yep.
Okay. It just seemed like he ran the conversation into it. He was saying that we made more progress in the war in the last 3 months. It just seemed like he was talking about money because he ran the money conversation into saying that, you know, they made progress. Okay. All right. Oh, whew. I thought what?
Real quickly, you pushed out on social media.
Yeah, he said progress. He said we made progress.
You pushed out on
Yeah.
social media about doing away with.
I said that, Fred. Damn. Don't try to correct me after I corrected myself.
Off topic, just really quickly. Mail-in ballots are corrupt. Mail-in ballots, you can never have a real democracy with mail-in ballots. And we, as a Republican Party, are going to do everything possible that we get rid of mail-in ballots. We're going to start with an executive order that's being written right now by the best lawyers in the country to end mail-in ballots because they're corrupt. And you know that we're the only country in the world, I believe, I may be wrong, but just about the only country in the world that uses it because of what's happened, massive fraud all over the place. The other thing we want change are the machines. For all of the money they spend, it's approximately 10 times more expensive than paper ballots. And paper ballots are
good thing I don't vote.
And everything else. We would get secure elections. We'd get much faster results. The machines, I mean, they say we're going to have the results in 2 weeks. With paper ballots, you have the results that night. Most people, many countries use paper ballots. It's the most secure form. So between paper ballots, very, very important, paper ballots, and I think maybe even more important, the mail-in voting. We're going to end mail-in voting. It's a fraud. If you have mail-in vote, even Jimmy Carter with this commission, they set it up. He said the one thing about mail-in voting, you will never have an honest election if you have mail-in. And it's time that the Republicans get tough and stop it because the Democrats want it. It's the only way they can get elected. Because with men and women's sports and with transgender for everybody.
Whoa. Whoa. Damn. Damn, Trump. We trying to fight too many battles, Trump. You got us on all cylinders at this damn time, Trump. You can't bring shit up like this during this time, man. You supposed to be pushing for peace. You supposed to be pushing for peace. You can't just spring some shit like that out. I'm pretty sure you got a PR team. The Republican Party is telling you that you can't just keep saying shit like this.
And open borders and all of the horrible things. And now the new thing is they love crime. They're fighting me on the fact that I'd made Washington, D.C. safe. We're not going to get mugged, beaten up, or killed like all the people you've been watching get so badly hurt. I'm glad. I hate to take your time with this, but I'm glad you asked me that question. We're going to stop mail-in ballots because it's corrupt. You know, when you go to a voting booth and you do it the right way, and you go to a state that runs it properly, you go in, they even ask me, they asked me for my license plate, for identity. I said, I don't know if I have it. He said, sir, you have to have it. I was very impressed, actually. But it's very hard to cheat with mail-in voting. As you know what happens in California, it's so corrupt, where some people get 5, 6, 7 ballots delivered to them. Now, we got to stop mail-in voting, and the Republicans have to lead the charge. The Democrats want it because they have horrible policy. If you have mail-in voting, you're not going to have many Democrats get elected. That's bigger than anything having to do with redistricting, believe me. And the Republicans have to get smart. We're not going to have a country. I said for a long time at rallies, you need borders and you need free and fair elections. Those two things, otherwise you don't have. We have strong borders now. In 90 days, Mr. President, we didn't have 1, 0, 0, and 3 months. Not one person came in illegally into our country. In fact, even I find that hard to believe, but it's run by a little bit of a liberal group that put out the numbers, so I guess it's, but 0, 0, and 0. You go back a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 millions of people poured into our country. It was terrible. Thank you very much.
From President Trump to be able to make a deal? Is it American troops, intelligence, equipment? What is it?
Introducing our cutting-edge smart...
Yeah, there we go. That's the question. What are you asking for from the American people? What are you asking for from President Trump? Is it people? Is it, you know, what is it you are asking for? It's a good question.
It includes 2 parts. First, strong Ukrainian army. That's what I began to discuss with your colleagues. And it's a lot about weapon and then people and training missions and intelligence. And second, we will discuss with our partners. It depends on big countries, on the United States, on a lot of our friends.
And Mr. President, are you willing to permit American troops to that NATO-like protection in order to get President Zelensky to a deal today?
Well, I don't know if you define it that way, but NATO-like, I mean, we're going to give, we have people waiting in another room right now. They're all here from Europe, biggest people in Europe, and they want to give protection. They feel very strongly about it, and we'll help them out with it. I think it's very important. I think it's very important to get the deal done.
You've been involved with the peacekeeping in Ukraine since the first day of the new administration. What would you say to the Ukrainian people right now who are suffering under the Russian attacks and hoping that the American people will stand with them?
Well, I know Ukrainian people. I've known many over the years. They're great people. They're smart. They're energetic. They love their country. I mean, they love their country, and we want to get this war ended. That's all I can do. I love the Ukrainian people, but I love all people. I love the Russian people. I love them all. I want to get the war stopped. Very important.
Is there any aspect of your discussion with Vladimir Putin that left you disappointed?
Look, we just spoke to, I was just telling the president, I just spoke to President Putin indirectly, and we're going to have a phone call right after these meetings today. And we may or may not have a trilat. If we don't have a trilat, then the fighting continues. And if we do, we have a good chance. I think if we have a trilat, there's a good chance of maybe ending it. But he's expecting my call when we're finished with this meeting. Thank you very much,
Now, these are some big people that are putting this together, right? There's some major people at the table, right? There's some major people at this table, not this table that you see on the screen, but these people right here, right? These are some big people that was at the table yesterday, right? And they are putting together some type of ideal strategy that benefits them to the point where hopefully the outcome benefits everybody and gives everybody a little bit of safety and security. Plus, they wanted to make sure that the Ukrainian president knew that they supported them also in this, right? So everybody has to come up with an agreement, because guess what? Probably a lot of people might have to give up, troops, or might have to give up, something of that. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure, right? Because they looking to see. They looking to see who can they pull up, who can they That's great that he came with backup. He said, nah, last time I went to the Oval Office, they jumped me. You see, he remembered the reporters and everything. He was like, yeah, that reporter right there tried to talk about I should wear a suit. And that vice president guy, he got on me talking about I came in here disrespectful and didn't wear a suit. Everybody said, next time, I might wear a suit. I might wear a suit like yours. I might wear a suit better than yours. But he burned that reporter, though. He told that reporter, he said, you see, I changed this time. I changed. You still never changed. You still in the same suit. Hey, he cooked me. He said, you never changed. You still in the same suit. Huh? One second, I gotta use the bathroom.
I ride with my brothers, yeah. 'Cause when I win, they win. That's love in the storm. I ride with my brothers. Alright. 'Cause when I win, they win. That's love. When I win, they win. That's love. When I win, they win. That's love. I ain't never tripping on shit. That's others. I ain't never tripping on shit. That's others. All of my brothers, we moving together. We moving as one. All of my brothers, we moving together. We moving as one. All of my brothers, we moving together. We moving as one. All of my brothers, we moving together. We moving as one. All around with my brothers. 'Cause when I win, they win. That's love in the storm. I ride with my brothers. 'Cause when I win, they win. That's love.
My work is easy because I use Clear.
Now when they win, that's love. The mods is not pro-Putin. What are you talking about? Get out of here, Dave. Get your ass out of here. And you gonna get your ass up out of here. You keep on trying to talk about my mods. That's for sure. Don't you know the mods run the comment section? You can't talk about the mods in the section that they run. You better off trying to talk about me in the comment section than the mods.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to have you here. Special place, White House is special no matter
That's
where
what I'm
you're
saying,
from.
man. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. We neutral.
Beautiful. Thank
We's the neutral party. We don't got no dog in this. We just trying to bring it to you guys and, you know, watch party over here.
Important
That's all.
discussions as we work to end the killing
We
and stop the
welcome
war
free
in
speech.
Ukraine. We're all working for the same
free
goal.
way
Very
of
simple
thinking.
goal. We want to stop the killing.
Unity.
Get this settled.
Acceptance.
I've just had the
love and light.
Honor of being with President Zelensky and all of the discussions that we've had. We covered a lot of territory, and I spoke indirectly with President Putin today. We're going to call President Putin right after this meeting. I'm sure we're going to have a solid meeting, good meeting, maybe a great meeting, and we're going to try and work out a trilat after that and see if we can get it finished, put this to sleep, because this is not since the Second World War has there been anything like this. So I'm honored to welcome NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who's a great gentleman, great political leader in Europe generally, but now he's the NATO Secretary General, and you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Mark. Prime Minister Starmer of the United Kingdom, our friend and my friend, and doing really well. And people like him a lot. We all like him. Everyone knows President Macron of France, who's been with me from the beginning. One of the first people I met was a foreign dignitary, and I liked him from day one. And I like him even more now. That's pretty good. That's unusual. That's a pretty unusual thing. Prime Minister Meloni of Italy, who's a really a great leader and an inspiration over there. She's served now, even though she's a very young person, she's served there for a long period of time relative to others. They don't last very long. You've lasted a long time. You're going to be there a long time.
See, look,
Chancellor Merkel.
They did all the flattering and stuff, on the public stage, and then they had the back end meeting and conversation. They cleaned it up a lot. Based from that last meeting with Zelensky and all the parties that's involved right now, European parties, so on and so forth. They cleaned up a lot of stuff with this one, So they this whole situation, they cleaned up a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? They were the way it was looking. I was hoping that it wasn't like February. February. Man, they were like, you should be more appreciative. You need us. You don't hold no cards. You ain't this. You ain't that. Damn. Even Zelensky, he was like, I'm not sure of this American thing, man. I don't know if they actually going to help us. They can just stop at any time. We'll be you know what I mean? Like, but they did good this time around.
Germany, who is... and the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, who is somebody that we just made a big deal with all of those countries. I don't know. I think you might be more powerful than all these guys at this table. I don't know. But we had a great negotiation, and you're respected all over the world. So I want to thank you very much for being here. It's a great honor to have you. The Alaska Summit reinforced my belief that while difficult, peace is within reach, and I believe that in a very significant step, President Putin agreed that Russia would accept.
If you want to build an app.
It's just accepting terms, right? It's just accepting like certain variations of terms of this, right?
the key
Putin's
points that
getting
we
some
need to
land.
consider, and we're going
Putin
to be
is getting
considering
some
that at
land
the
out
table
of this.
also, like who will do what, essentially. I'm optimistic that collectively we can reach an agreement that would deter any future aggression against Ukraine, and I actually think there won't be. I think that's even overrated, largely overrated, but we're going to find out. And I think that the European nations are going to take a lot of the burden. We're going to help them, and we're going to make it very secure. We also need to discuss the possible exchanges of territory, taking into consideration the current line of contact. That means the war zone, the war lines that are pretty obvious, very sad actually to look at them. And negotiating positions. President Putin, also, you have President of Ukraine, who is, you just met a little while ago.
Why is nobody saying nothing about those 20,000 kids?
Three-party.
The 20,000 kids.
As soon as we can. And I have a feeling you and President Putin are going to work something out. Ultimately, this is a decision that can only be made by President Zelensky and by the people of Ukraine working also together in agreement with President Putin. And I just think that's very good things are going to come of it. So I hope we have a good meeting. And if we can have a good meeting, I'll set up a meeting with President Putin. And if you'd like, I'll go to that meeting. And not that I want to do that, but I will do that because...
Hey, President Trump said, not that I want to do that, but we will do that. Yeah, I'm going to just push it to 3 hours today. I'm going to just push it to 3 hours today, just, you know, because it's good numbers in here. So I'm just going to keep it going for a little bit longer. Maybe, you know, a couple more hours. I'm not sure. But before we see the decline, we are going to get out of here. Just to make sure that we stay within. I mean, our views is high. Our likes are not matching our views, but that's okay though. A lot of people don't really like tapping the screen. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't really like hitting the like button, you know. So I'm not even going to force people to hit the like button no more. I just appreciate people, you know, coming over here. So that's what, you know, we'll just, you know, before the numbers start going down, you know, we'll go ahead and end it. You know what I mean? Right. You want to leave on a high note. So before the numbers start going down, let's give an ideal number drop. If it dropped below like, 70 maybe? If it start going below 70, hitting like 50 people, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. But as long as the numbers stay good in here, I'll keep on, you know, playing it, keep the conversation going, so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Hey, appreciate the like. Because right now, you just got to look at the people that's in here. That's all you could look at now. We're not getting the likes. Me constantly pressing for likes has probably, you know, y'all probably tired of hearing me asking to hit the like button. So I'm not even going to keep doing it. But we do got some great numbers. If people could hit that arrow button and maybe share or copy the link, maybe we'll stay in the algorithm. You know what I mean? All we're here to do is just create a space for people to come to and get, you know, different levels of things that's going on in the world, current events. Tory Lane's back in court. A lot of stuff going on with the Diddy trial or the Diddy situation. So we're just here, right? Able bodies and able to be able to coerce with other people, bring other people to the page, so on and so forth. However you look at it. So let's just keep it going. And don't forget to click in the bio and come over to the Discord, you know. Everybody just come over to the Discord, you know. We always hanging out in there. We're trying to get some more people over there, like-minded people that want to sit in peace. We're actually trying to create a wave, right? So we're trying to get as many people in the Discord as possible. Once we get like 100 people in the Discord, then we'll start, 100 active people, let me rephrase that, 100 active people. Then we'll start taking field trips to other people's pages to help build up their page. And, you know, smaller creator pages. We'll take field trips to smaller creator pages. At y'all choosing, though, we'll vote for the people that we choose to go take the field trip to. And then, you know what I mean, we'll do that all in the Discord, and then we'll take field trips, you know, every Thursday or Friday, something like that, when everybody's not. Maybe make it a weekend thing. and also movie nights and everything like that. So we got to get 100 active people. So
We want to save a lot of people from dying.
yeah,
A lot
if
of
we
people
vote.
are dying, and we got to save them. We got to save it. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people sometimes a week. All of us would obviously prefer an immediate ceasefire while we work on a lasting peace, and maybe something like that could happen. As of this moment, it's not happening, but President Zelensky and President Putin can talk a little bit more about that. You know, in the 6 or so wars that we stopped, we haven't had a ceasefire. And so I don't know that it's necessary. You can do it through the war, but it would be, I like the ceasefire from another standpoint. You immediately stop the killing. But I believe a peace
Unaliving
agreement
Trump,
at the end of all of
unaliving.
this is
We gotta
something
teach
that's
you
very
online
attainable,
etiquette,
and it can
man.
be done in the near future. With all of the wars that I got involved in, we only have this one left. Of course, as I walk out the door, there'll probably be a new one starting, and I'll get that stopped too. But I thought this was going to be one of the easier ones. It's actually one of the most difficult. They're very complex. The next step would be for a trilateral meeting, and
Yeah, it's
that will be
difficult
worked
when
out,
you're
and
trying
I
to build
just
a
look
channel,
forward
right?
to
You got to have a
working
support
and having
system
a
when you're
great
trying to build a
result. We're going to
channel,
spend
so
a
it
lot of
gets
time
difficult.
today talking about, and we're really honored you guys came over. I mean, these are the heads of major countries, and respected all over Europe, and they speak for, largely, I think I should say, but pretty much for the other countries of Europe. And we will come to a resolution today, I think, on almost everything, including probably the security. And that's pretty much the story. I'd
He
like
probably
to say,
is
Mr. President,
tired.
would you like to say something? You
He
have the
probably
media.
is
If you want,
tired.
you could come over and you could stand, you could use mine, or you could just turn around, whichever you feel comfortable with.
Thank you so much. I can speak without microphone. Thank you so much. I think that we had very good conversation with President Trump.
Very good.
And it really was the best one. Or sorry, maybe the best one will be in the future.
Look at the
But it
bottom of the
was really
screen. It says Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. Strength is back in the White House. Hey, if he put this together, one's in the chat if you think he'll get a Nobel Peace Prize for this. If Trump put this together, do you think he should get, do you think a Nobel Peace Prize? I mean, if he gets, because remember, all these people are at the table because they were at a deadlock with Putin. They were at a deadlock with Putin, right? So if he can put some type of agreement together, some type of trilateral agreement together, right? Do you think he should get, like, let's take out feelings and emotions. Let's take out, the things that he, immigration, all of that stuff. Let's take out all of that, right? Like, with this level of peace put in place, do you think he should be getting the Nobel Peace Prize? One's in the chat if you think he should get it.
good. And we spoke about very sensitive points. The first one is security guarantees, and we are very happy with President that all the leaders are here, and the security in Ukraine depends on the United States and on you and on those leaders who are with us in our hearts. They have been online before yesterday, and etc. So a lot of countries on the side of Ukraine.
So I said, hold on, let me read this, because when I read it the first time, it was funny. Hold on, let me read it. I want y'all to hear it how I read it, right? It say, yes, Trump definitely should get a Nobel Peace Prize. Even Democrats are saying so. Hillary Clinton said he should. You want to give him a Nobel Peace Prize? What the fuck is a Nobel Peace Prize? Huh? Mark and Mark, what is a Nobel Peace Prize? Huh? Is that being able to, use his cell phone to make great things? No, I'm joking. I know what you meant. I'm joking. It's just how I read it in my mind, like a Nobel Peace Prize. Damn, when they start giving those out. I didn't know they was giving out Nobel Peace Prizes. I had to run through a couple of scenarios. I was like, damn, is that a thing? Is there a Nobel Peace Prize out there? Maybe I'm confused on What prizes is out there? It might be another prize out there besides a Nobel Peace Prize. Maybe a Nobel Peace Prize is bigger than a Nobel. I started to ask you some questions. I started to be like, damn, is that bigger than a Nobel Peace Prize? Like, is a mobile? You know what I'm saying? I'm slow. Well, help me catch up then, shit, or slow down.
Our people and all of us want to finish this war, stop Russia and stop this war. We spoke about it, and we will speak more about security guarantees. This is very important that the United States gives.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's doing so much grifting from his phone with all these phone calls that he's making.
Please just hear me out. No,
Right.
no, I'll work, man.
He's doing so much grifting from his phone. I thought they were saying, you know what I'm saying, he should get a Nobel Peace Prize for all the grifting that he's doing from that cell phone. I ain't know.
To exchange all the
Shit.
business, and I think that
I thought it was a new thing out.
Very thankful
That's like the
to
best
your
grifter
wife
award.
again, Mr. President, for the letter
All
about
the money he's making from his cell phone.
children, and I hope that really it can be a historic role for the people to bring kids back to the families and be happy and get their families. Yes, this is so important, and I'm happy that we discussed it, this track with the President Trump, and I hope that we will find decisions. And then what is very important, that all the sensitive things, territorial, etc., we will discuss on the level of leaders during trilateral meeting, and President Trump will try to organize such meeting, and he said that he will come or not come. Ukraine will be happy if you will participate.
I will be there.
Yeah, thank you. And I think this is very important. Yes, so security guarantees bring kids back, and all our people, not only warriors, first of all warriors, and all the civilians, journalists, a lot of people in prison. So
they want them
we
kids
need
back.
them back.
They
And
want them kids
guarantees
back.
which will work for the years. we spoke
Absolutely
about
want
it.
them kids
And
back.
I
Where the
saw
cheering at?
President, a lot of details on the battlefield, on the map. Thank you so much. Thank you for the map, by the way.
Good map.
It was great. I'm thinking how to take it back.
We'll get you.
No. I think that we had constructive, specific meeting, and I'm very thankful to all the leaders.
Yeah,
who
just
here
stop the
and
bullshit.
helped
Just
a
stop
lot.
the listen.
So-
Listen. It's very simple. It's very simple, right? It's very simple. Let's think about this, right? Russia needs territory. They need to expand. They need to, they don't have good cropland. I heard Trump say a couple of days ago, or it might have been yesterday, Trump said it's very good land, right? It's very good land. I don't know if it's over the oil. I don't know if it's over refineries. We don't really know what's in that land because we're not in that land, right? But they said the land, right? Russia is not going without getting some type of victory with this whole land thing, right? Rare minerals. Okay. Is it about crystals, or when you say rare minerals, are you talking about crystals or oils, or oil? What are we talking about? Oh, raw. Okay. Cobalt. Uranium. Is this a job for Black Panther? Never mind. Russia don't need more land. It's got most of the land in Europe. They're trading oil. Stuff needs in. Hardly, I doubt it. By the way, why wasn't he behind bars? Who? Right, this is about Wakanda. Wakanda forever. Okay, titanium and raw earth elements, which are essential for nanotechnology and energy production. Okay, so they need the land for the minerals and stuff like that to keep production going. Ukraine said that they don't have too many, places like that where you can produce. That's why they need American, air, products or whatever. And that's why, Trump said that they sell this stuff to NATO and then NATO gives it to them or whatever, however they work with it. And, $350 billion, so on and so forth. Trump looked tired, has been working. Okay. Wakanda is Marvel name for Black Panther. They want what they don't need and they fear what they need, not fear. I kind of agree with you on that. I think a lot of people are just scared of what the other people are up to. When you find out that somebody's got some minerals of importance that you think about using for negative, you don't know what they're thinking about using that stuff for. They could be using that stuff for something completely different because your mind knows that stuff can be used to build this or build that. That's what you're going. So they're in fear that another country is doing something that they're thinking with their mind. You know what I mean? Like, that's the craziest thing in this world, is that we fear that another country is thinking like we're thinking and they're thinking about negative and so on and so forth. But that's the way of this world, right? We were always put in a fearful state of being. Thus far, the leaders are always worried, cautious, and we don't never get nothing done in a fearful state. That's why you have to be boldened in this world. I'm glad that Trump is sitting down with Russia. Look, all the European people that's sitting at this table right now, they all say the same thing. We was at a deadlock. You get what I'm saying? They said we were at a deadlock with Putin. So it's a good thing that we're able to get at the table. So this is good. You're opening up the door for some type of conversation. That's a way to peace, right? Now, who knows? Putin might be like, well, shit, if we're going to move towards peace, let me get these other bombs. Let me get these other, let me get some shit out the way. Let me finish fucking some shit up first. Who knows?
We're happy.
Especially if it's territory that he's already talking about trying to get claim to. If it's the territory that he's already talking about getting, then they might be, in the mindset of just doing what they want.
We have such big unity today. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think you'll see that President Putin really would like to do something else. I think when we set that up, when we do, I think it's going to be when, not if. I think you're going to see some really positive moves. I know there's over 1,000 prisoners, and I know they're going to release them. Maybe they're going to release them very soon, like immediately.
How do you know they're going to release them?
Great. But we will. We're going to set that up today after this meeting. So very good and great remarks. I appreciate it. Mark, as head of NATO, maybe you could say a few words.
Yes, I will be very brief. I really want to thank you, President of the United States, dear Donald, for the fact that you, as I said before, broke the deadlock, basically with President Putin by starting that dialogue. And I think it was in February that you had the first phone call, and from there we are now where we are today. And that is, I think, if we play this well, we could end this. And we have to end this. We have to stop the killing. We have to stop the destruction of Ukraine's infrastructure. It is a terrible war. So I'm really excited. And let's make the best out of today and make sure that from today onwards, we get this thing to an end as soon as possible. I really want to thank you for your leadership, what you are doing for Vladimir, but of course also all the European colleagues. It is really crucial. And the fact that you have said, I'm willing to participate in the security guarantees is a big step. It's really a breakthrough, and it makes all the difference. So also thank you for that.
Well, NATO also has agreed from 2% to 5%, which is something that is a massive amount of money. And it's 2% that wasn't always paid to 5% that is paid. That's a big...
Well, I mean, let's not talk. He always talking about money because he's a businessman. So I guess we can expect that out of Trump. But what do you guys think? How does this change us with our ties with the UK? Our ties with Finland, other places like that. Where do that put us with our relations with them? Like, is it better relations if we, if this is able to get done, right? Now, this could go either way, right? This can be a hurrah moment for America, or this can be a I told you so for everybody else. Everybody else might be in one of those I told you so's, you know what I'm saying? where they want to just be like, I told you, you know what I mean? I told you not to trust him. I told you. So, you know, this could be one of those moments where we might get a view change. We might get a view change, right? Because if they're at peace over there in Europe and some of the Europe countries and stuff like that, right? And America is the trilateral bipartisan that is keeping that peace, right? Our relations also change, right? Our relation with them, right? You know, we might be able to renegotiate some type of understanding with the UK. You know, maybe the UK won't dislike us as much. What do you guys think? I'm thinking this is beneficial towards everybody. I'm thinking we all can, you know, be in the mindset of this type of unity in a sense, right? Come on, don't do that, don't do that.
Difference, and so we appreciate that. That was a great move.
Listen, it's all about peace.
Ursula, maybe
It's
on
all
behalf
about
of the
peace.
Commission, you could say a couple of words.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's a very important moment. Indeed, we are here.
She brings up the kids.
Friends and allies. We had a fantastic NATO summit. Together as the two largest and biggest economies in the world, we had the largest trade deal ever agreed. And now we are here to work together with you on a just and lasting peace for Ukraine. Stop the killing. This is really our common interest, stop the killing. And indeed, it's very good to hear that we're working on the security guarantees, Article 5 lies security guarantees, so important. But I want to thank you also that you mentioned the thousands of Ukrainian children that have been abducted. And as a mother and grandmother, every single child has to go back to its family. This should be one of our main priorities also in these negotiations, to make sure that the children come back to Ukraine, to their families.
Thank you, and we did. I was just thinking we're here for a different reason, but we just a couple of weeks ago made the largest trade deal in history. So that's a big thing, and congratulations. That's great. Thank you very much, Ursula. Mr. Chancellor from Germany, a very great leader.
Mr. President, Donald, many thanks for having us today. I think this is extremely helpful that we are meeting and hearing that the two of you are having such a good meeting today here in Washington. The next steps ahead are the more complicated ones now. The path is open. You opened it last Friday. But now the way is open for complicated negotiations. And to be honest, we all would like to see a ceasefire, at the latest from the next meeting on. I can't imagine that the next meeting would take place without a ceasefire. So let's work on that, and let's try to put pressure on Russia, because the credibility of these efforts we are undertaking today, are depending on at least a ceasefire.
See, he keep on saying ceasefire, but he already told them that we can't get the ceasefire, or we got to move towards the notion of peace, because we got to do this without a ceasefire, right? He already said that, right? So all we can do is hope that, you know, Putin conducts himself, you know, diplomatically, and not continue to do, you know what I mean?
From the beginning of the serious negotiations, from next step on. So I would like to emphasize this aspect, and would like to see a ceasefire from the next meeting, which should be a trilateral meeting wherever it takes place.
Well, we're going to let the president go over and talk to the president, and we'll see how that works out, and if we can do that. I will say, and again I say it, in the 6 wars that I've settled, I haven't had a ceasefire. We just got into negotiations, and one of the wars was, as you know, in the Congo, was 31 years long. Another one that we settled last week with 2 great countries was 35 years going on, and we had no ceasefire. So if we can do the ceasefire, great. And if we don't do a ceasefire, because many other points were given to us, many points were given to us, great points. Please, Georgia, go ahead.
Well, thank you very much, Donald, Mr. President, for hosting us today in this important meeting. And I think it is an important day, a new phase, after 3 years and a half that we didn't see any kind of sign from the Russian side that there was a willing for dialogue. So something is changing, something has changed, thanks to you, thanks also to the stalling in the battlefield, which was achieved with the bravery of Ukrainians and with the unity that we all provided to Ukraine. And the reason why I mention it is that we also have to remind that if we want to reach peace and if we want to guarantee justice, we have to do it united. So that's why it's a very good day, the one we are in. You can obviously count on Italy as it was from the beginning. We are on the side of Ukraine, and we do absolutely support your efforts towards peace. We will talk about many important topics. The first one is security guarantees, how to be sure that it won't happen again, which is the precondition of every kind of peace. I'm happy that we will discuss about that. I'm happy that we will begin from a proposal, which is the, let's say, Article 5 model, which was Italian at the beginning. So we are always ready to bring our proposals for peace, for dialogue. It's something we have to build together to guarantee peace and defend the security of our nation. So thank you, Mr. President, for hosting us.
Thank you very much. Emmanuel?
Thank you, Mr. President, for all
See, that's why I say, like, a lot of them are giving their giving their, opinion on this. I mean, not opinion, but a lot of them are worried about what's going to happen next. What's going to happen next? So how do we stop this from, continuing? How do we, so that's what they're looking at. You know what I mean? That's what they're looking at. So all these security measures, this could put America troops, with boots on the ground. This could put us with boots on the ground. So we have to definitely pay close attention to this, the details of this. Using Article 5 in order to secure them is bringing in NATO, because only under NATO could you use an Article 5 level of security for this peace treaty, or whatever you want to call it, whatever they're going to do, right? And, even though the Ukraine ain't a part of, or is not a part of NATO, they going to use the Article 5 or using the measures of it, right, to secure this, right? So they're going to have to exactly, in some sort of sense, whatever this piece is, right, it's temporarily allowing them to use NATO security, right? So it's like putting them under NATO in a sense, right?
organizing this meeting and for your commitment. And everything was said.
Y'all hit that like button and share the live. If we drop up under 70, we out.
And
we
and
out.
We worked very hard, and we've worked very hard during the past few years.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
A robust and long-standing peace. This is why the idea of a trilateral meeting is very important, because this is the only way to fix it. And by the way, I think as a follow-up, we would need probably a quadrilateral meeting, because when we speak about security guarantees, we speak about the whole security of the European continent. And this is why we are all united here with Ukraine on this matter. In order to organize such a trilateral meeting, your idea to ask for a truce or ceasefire, at least to stop the killings, as we discussed, is a necessity. And we all support this idea. And in order to have such a long-standing peace for Ukraine and for the whole continent, we do need the security guarantees. And the first one is clearly a credible Ukrainian army for the years and decades to come.
See?
And the second one
Strengthening
is
the
our
Ukraine
ongoing
army.
office.
That's
And,
more money.
We worked very hard during the
We
last
not
few months.
we sent the ass load of money to Ukraine already. But if we're strengthening their armies, then we're upping their supply. We're you know what I'm saying? We're funding. We're giving military training support. This is all the things that come with that.
Among the coalition of the willings, with the support of NATO, to build the different pillars of security guarantees and our commitments. And you can be sure that Europeans are very lucid about the fact that they have their fair share in these security guarantees for Ukraine, but their own security is clearly at stake in this situation. So you can count on us, as we can count on you, in order to deliver this robust peace for both Ukraine and Europe.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Mr. Prime Minister.
This is kind of putting them in NATO, though, right?
Thank you for hosting us here. Can I start where Emmanuel started, which is we all want peace. The war in Ukraine has had a huge impact, particularly on the Ukrainians who've borne the brunt of it, but it's also had an impact on Europe and on the United Kingdom. There's not a family or community that hasn't been affected. And when we talk about security, we're talking about the security not just of Ukraine, we're talking about the security of Europe and the United Kingdom as well, which is why this is such an important issue. I think this is such an important meeting. As a group, I think we've had a discussion on the phone a number of times, Mr. President, but be able now to be around the table to take it forward. And I really feel that we can, I think, with the right approach this afternoon, make real progress, particularly on the security guarantees, and your indication of security guarantees of some sort of Article 5 style guarantees fits with what we've been doing with the Coalition of the Willing, which we started some months ago, bringing countries together and showing that we were prepared to step up to the plate when it came to security.
Yeah, so this is about the security, making sure that they get under some sort of NATO ruling. You know, putting together this table, this coalition, if you would call it. You know, this is all about strengthening that. And I guess you can say that it helps for NATO, right? Unless it backfires. And the only people that it can really backfire on is America at this point, right? Let's be honest. The only way this can backfire is on America, because America is sticking their necks out there. These people already were at a deadlock with Putin, right? They were already at a deadlock, right? So this opens up the door, right? So, like I said, we'll continue holding conversation about this. We'll continue staying on track of this. We'll continue posting this. Hopefully you guys put your notifications on. Hopefully guys, you lock in with us and you know, you sub to the page. Replay game. Do your thing. Hopefully, you know, comment on it. Let me know what you think. Later on today, roughly like maybe 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock, we'll be breaking down the Joe Rogan and Congresswoman Luna's interview. You know, in the meantime, in between time, you guys be great. You know, love is love. Appreciate your time. Hey, Jerry, it's okay. At least we're having a conversation, right? So I appreciate you for being here. Love is love. If nobody told you today that they love you, let me be the first and not the last to tell you that I love you. All right? You guys be great. I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy every part of it. You know? Whatever it is, whatever you do, whatever you like doing. I like talking to people. I like meeting new people. I like holding conversations. So I thank you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, I could be wrong. As long as you love me, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. I stand corrected. If I'm wrong, I'm cool with that. Enlighten me. You know? Love is love, man. Hopefully some of y'all join the Discord. I gratefully appreciate you guys being here. You know? And we had a great live. You know? So we appreciate you. All right? Enjoy the music as you exit. All we ever really wanted was you. All we ever really needed was you. It's you. Hey, tap that screen, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button on your way out. Whatever it is that you do, man, be great at what you do. All right? Remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. And I'm a reflection of you. I'm only great because I see you as great. Namaste.